Hello, this is some guy in Hawaii, and I am not sure why this was not in the 1.2.3 update notes, or why no one seems to have noticed or mentioned this, but it looks like the new default continuity setting in Civ 7 allows us to keep the same Civ we had in the previous age. If you want to play as Rome the entire game, you can now do so. Now, under the new default continuity setting, when we transition to a new age and are given the choice of new civs to choose, the old one is right there in the upper left. It's the first one on the list, as it were. Now, I noticed this early on in my first or second playthroughs since the patch, but didn't pay it much attention because I am someone who likes changing cultures with new units and buildings and perks that come with that mechanic. I subconsciously just blew it off, concentrating much more on the other changes and new content. But the whole complaint about being forced to switch civs came up in conversation, and it clicked with me, and I went back and looked, and there it was. In this example, I played the Chola in the Age of Exploration, and now here it is as my first choice in the Modern Age. And if I choose it, I remain the Chola. I retain access to my previous Civ-specific policies and perks, which I would anyway, but I can also still build my Civ-specific buildings and the most advanced version of my Civ-specific unit. This is basically what some people have been asking for since before launch, with one big difference. We still cannot play Exploration Age Civs until we get to the Age of Exploration, and the same goes for Modern Age Civs prior to the Modern Age. We can't play as the Normans in the Age of Antiquity, can't play as America in the Ages of Antiquity or Exploration. We can play as Ben Franklin or Harriet Tubman, but we'll have to work with one or two civs that are not American until we get to the Modern Age, as it's always been. Now, there are some players for whom this is still not enough. Fair enough. If you are dead set against switching civs in any circumstances, it's not enough, but it's still an option we didn't have before. I think the reason this is not being discussed is that the overwhelming majority of people still playing the game are, at the very least, okay with civ switching. It's not make or break for them. They're like me, probably barely noticed it. So what do you think? If you like this content, I, of course, ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. But what I'd really like you to do is raise questions about this new feature with other more successful, more popular Civ content providers so the community at large knows and can weigh in. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.